in a place we've never seen him before. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh my God! KO in midair!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's SK, and today we're going to talk about Awakening. Awakening is coming within the next 4 days, and everyone is excited. I myself am super excited. And the reason I'm excited is because now I get to talk about a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is getting ready for Awakening. The things you need to get ready for Awakening. The knowledge you're going to need to know about your class when it comes to Awakening, and what your class might mean for you in the future specifically. Now, all those topics won't be covered in this video specifically, but I will release videos throughout the weekend to go ahead and cover those topics. The only thing we're going to talk about in this video are going to be what you're going to need for your class and pretty much just how your class changes when it comes from pre-awakened to Awakening. So a lot of you console players that are first time in BDO don't know what Awakening is, and you've just heard about it a lot. You've probably been hyped up about it because we keep mentioning it. Awakening is a shift in your class's power system. You get a brand new weapon, you go through a quest line to get this weapon, and you get a new set of skills. Think of it as playing one of those old MMOs to where you can do a class change, but you only have one class change into instead of a branch. And instead of it being a class, you get a different weapon mastery. So when it comes to, say, the warrior goes from a sword and shield style fighter to a great sword style fighter. Now, if playing carefully, you don't lose anything in the transition, to be honest. And that's what we're going to talk about today when it comes to things you need when it comes to Awakening. So the first thing you're going to actually need is a lot of skill points, because the way they release content for the game right now is that we have absolute skills, and now we're going to have Awakening, and that's going to eat a lot of skill points, to be honest. On PC, when Awakening came out first for Wizard, and when it came out, not first in the rotation, but when it came out for Wizard and Witches, I believe I had 1,300 skill points, and that wasn't even enough at level 58 to get all my skills. So that's gonna tell you pretty much how much skill points you need by the time to get all your skills. Even at level 60, I don't think I had enough skill points to get all the skills I wanted to. And I think I was still grinding at the point I needed to get all my skill points on my Valkyrie. And then 2 years later, they released absolute skills, and I needed more skill points. That's kind of around the time I stopped playing at the same time. But that's pretty much giving you an idea how much skill points you're gonna need. But to be honest, don't fret, because if you don't have over 1,000 skill points, you'll still be fine. You could just get your core Awakening skills. If you're level 58, you should have around 800 skill points if you did the story quests and you've grinded to this point without being power leveled. And you should have around 800. That should get you all your skills from starting from level 58 below in your Awakening side, and then you'll be able to get your core skills from your pre-Awakening. I'm not gonna suggest that you get all your Awakening skills if you need pre-Awakening skills. Like if you're a wizard and you only have 500 skill points for whatever reason because you got power level, I would honestly suggest getting your utility skills, like your teleport and your heals first. And if you use the lighthouses, then go ahead and get those. But I'm going to recommend that when you finish getting your utility skills, you go ahead and get your Awakening skills that do damage, because your Awakening skills are going to be a lot stronger than your pre-awakened skills. Speaking specifically on Witch and Wizard, because they have the flow skills at earlier levels that do a ton of damage, like at between 56 and 58, they have their flow skills that do a ton of damage, and those skills are pretty much going to carry them through grinding. And because those skills have no cast time, you're going to get a lot more accessibility through grinding. Now, the only classes I've ever done Awakening for are Warrior, Witch, Wizard, and Valkyrie. So I can only speak on those classes. We don't have Valkyrie yet, so I can't even really speak on that one. When it comes to Xbox, we have to see what they do. But when it comes to Warrior, I know you're going to want to go ahead and get all of your Awakening skills first. And you're going to want to go ahead and get your dashes and your blocks. And your grab, of course, if you're planning on doing PvP. But essentially with every class, what you're going to want to do is focus on getting skill points from this point on. Even after Awakening, you're going to still want to get more skill points, because we have our bomb skills that come out eventually. And some classes do benefit highly from our bomb skills, especially when it comes to PvP. Stepping off the skill point tree for a second, you're also going to need to get an ultimate weapon reform stone, because at the end of these Awakening quests, you're going to get a blue weapon which you can reform to ultimate, and that's going to be your best weapon you can get for Awakening for a while, up until they released Karanda for Dandelion weapons. Sorry for bouncing back and forth, but back on the Awakening side, another thing I wanted to make sure you guys know is that every skill that's not your 100% skill or a utility skill on the Awakening side of your skills has a skill called a flow skill. That flow skill enhances the effect of your Awakening skill, and that increases damage, increases range, increases accuracy, just stuff like that. And those skills are the major thing that you're going to go for when you get your skills in Awakening. As far as I can tell, every class benefits from a flow skill that they get, and no class can do without it. So if you have the points to get, if you don't have enough points to get a certain skill, but you have enough points to get the flow skill, always prioritize the flow skill, the skill that you have the flow with first, because that's going to get you your most DPS, and that's going to help you grind a lot easier to get more skill points. This is actually my first time going into Awakening on a Berserker. Well, my second time, technically. My Berserker on PC has Awakening. I just never actually got the skills. I never followed him up. I just kind of got rid of all the stuff once I got into Awakening because I just wanted the levels for my family fame. But this is going to be my technical first time going into level 58 Awakening as a Berserker and getting those skills and seeing what they do. That being said, you can expect to see some more Berserker and Wizard gameplay once the Awakening does come out. I do feel the Wizard gameplay and the Witch gameplay are a lot slower before Awakening, and a lot of people will realize that when they get the Awakening skills, that the gameplay does become a lot faster for those classes. You get one more mobility skill, all of your skills lose cast time, you have no use for any skills that have to do with cast time except for if you're going into, PA and your skills like Meteor and stuff like that. But yeah, Awakening does change the speed of the game dramatically. You can actually grind in certain areas a lot faster and a lot better once you get Awakening. Some classes do get more accuracy from Awakening. Some classes get skills that pretty much one-shot everything with Awakening. You also get a new 100% skill, and I believe you also get a 200% skill as well. And then later on we get a 25% skill. There's a lot of stuff that happens with Awakening, and I just can't wait for it to happen. I know we're all getting ready for those Rangers to reroll because, oh my god, we're tired of those shotgun spams. And I joke about that a lot, but that's probably something that might happen. I'm not really sure how the Xbox community is going to take the Ranger Awakening yet, but because all of the classes now have more chase skills and Wizards really don't take crap from Rangers with Awakening, I think it's going to be a lot harder for Rangers to just get their kills from shotgun spam from now on. But yeah, go ahead, drop in the comments. Let me know what class you're going to be Awakening as. Let me know if your class has changed since you started the game. What class do you plan on maining? What class are you waiting for? Just hit me up in the comments, and peace.